Okay, all aboard and welcome to the Fox Valley Shortline Railroad, a standard career playthrough of Derail Valley Simulator. My name is Swift Fox, and I'll be your conductor and engineers for this journey on the rails. Please have a seat, get comfortable, and have your tickets ready. This train is now departing. All right, welcome. This is an unstreamed video of derailment and how it happens and how to recover from it. So this will be the first of two. This one in particular, I have created a scenario that you see up here on the screen for the derailment testing. So far, I have over $150,000 in my cash reserves, and I have not bought any new licenses. I think I just have dispatcher. So nothing that would impact the derail discount if you would buy train length 1 or concurrent orders. You start to you lose the pre-derail discount option. So we're going to go over crashing early in the game before you get crazy here. So just want to welcome you. I said a few months ago, or I said in December after I did the derailment video, that I need to do this again with a little bit more care and attention and get all the way through it. And to do that, I needed to have more money in my cash reserves than I had at the time. So we're going to get this game started and crash our train. So let's make it happen. So we're going to move through the boot screens here. And I'm going to try and go through the whole process. And I honestly am not familiar with the whole process because I do not tend to crash my trains on purpose, or even not on purpose. So, all right, so here we are. We are at Steel Mill. We are already connected to a train, but let me just, if you pull this out, you see it removes the Rerail discount if you take this license. So prior to this, there's a discount to Rerail your trains. And so we're going to explore that and see what that looks like in comparison to what happens after you don't have the Rerail discount and how painful that is. So we're going to take a job, and I am hooked up to one that's going, where did it go? This one here, I think. Yeah. So we're hooked up to this one. We're going to start this job, and we're not going to go to Harbor in Town. We're going to go out to a spot where it's easy to derail and recover from that. So let me go over. Doesn't matter what amount of time we have. We're just going to take it and go. All right, so this is one of the key things that I didn't do in the derailment and explosions video. I didn't take a job. We just were crashing our trains just for the fun of it. All right. So this is the train here on our left, and our two DE2s are hooked up to that. Now, before we hop in, let me just go over something here. When you've unlocked a locomotive, you can use your walkie-talkie to think we can. No, we can't. Okay, so you can't use the walkie-talkie to spawn in another locomotive. Only the hand car, which is good to know. Oop, which is good to know. Yep. Okay. All right, so, oops, did that again. All right, so let's crash our train. We are headed towards farm, and it's basically, we're going to take the same route that we took in our previous game. In December, when we crashed these. Brakes on. Consist. That's off. That's off. All right. All right, let's get going. Moving towards catastrophe. It is rainy today. I'm not really worried about it. Get both locomotives going. I looked at that walkie-talkie thing. That was, I guess once you get your demonstrator locomotives built, then you can spawn in one of those locomotives. But until that time, you're dealing with rentals. You can't just pay to spawn one in. Towards farm. I guess it doesn't matter where we derail, but I'd like to kind of derail in a spot that's not as easy to get back to. Farm. Hope everybody's doing well today. Probably posting sometime next week. I will not be streaming this coming Wednesday. I have another meeting to attend to. Too much adulting in my life right now. Alright, switch is set correctly. So if you remember from December, there's a 30 kilometer an hour turn just on the other side of Oilville Central in the first Y. After that, it's I think it heads up to Forest South. as I said, this is a derail prior to losing the pre-derail discount. Derail pre-discount. See, this is actually a good speed to kind of take these turns through here. This is safe. I mean, this is no issue. Hitting switches at about 50 miles an hour is perfectly acceptable. I'm going to hit them too harder than that, though. Scoot over to the right, go down the loading track, which is usually empty. Doing fine. Nice smooth ride. H4 there, that doesn't help us. All right. Cruising along, 50 miles an hour, no big deal. Well within the speed limit. Punch it up a little bit and try and take advantage of that. Now we're going to go faster here. XY, it says 60 miles an hour, not a problem. Here we are, 60 miles an hour. A little bit less than that. And then, oh my goodness, what's this 30? Where did that come from? 40? What? Well, it's too late. We're gonna see what happens. We should derail right about here. There we go. Okay, so we've derailed. Okay. That must have hurt. Don't worry about the damage. You're insured. Pay the small copay at the career manager later, and all the damage fees will be cleared. All right. So that's what happens before you lose the derail discount. All right. Oh my goodness. So let's see. What do we? Oh, this is your first derailment. No worries. If you can't afford derailing and finishing the job, consider discarding it in the trash bin so you can take another. Okay. So obviously they expected this to happen to somebody. Let's try and get out of here. What a mess. That's what happens. Can we scoot up? No, we can't. I want to take a picture. Oh, there's a locomotive down there. Yeah, this is one of the locations for a derelict locomotive, and that's the DH4 in this particular game. But let me just get a picture here. All right, couple pictures here. All right, so what do we need to do? Well, according to this, all we need to do is get to another city or location, pay the fee, I think. So let's try that. All right, so we can run back. These are re-railed, I guess. Let's request a work train. Oops. We'll use this to go back to the nearest career center. I use the mouse wheel to get me back. Let's see what happens. I thought I was going to have to take this to City West. Another use for this hand car, right? And it also said that we could just throw this job away. No idea how fast we're going. But we'll play through this accident, this derailment, and see how to fix it. Following the prompts, it suggested that all we need to do is go back to an office and address this. So we will give that a shot. We left our mess on the tracks. Yard office should be over to the right. There it is. See the green light on the... All right, so let's see what happens. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Fees. Okay. Oh my. All right, so this is the damage to both of the DE2s. This is the damage to the shipment, to the freight. So we could print that and it'll give us a list of what's going on. So heavy damage, don't worry, you're insured. So the cargo vehicle damage was 22K. The cargo damage was 14K. And then it breaks it down by the damage to each flat car. And then the damage to... So I damaged 4 cars. And the cargo on... Well, the cargo is made up of rolls and steel bent plates. So so that's the cost. So, and then there's no environmental damage. Oops. So I can just go here and let's see, will that work? Let's just pay the bill. All right, it'll cost 100 to fix that. Let's see if that worked. Okay. So we cleared that. Let's see what's happened to the order. Take a ride back. So, let's see if that worked. Let's see if our train is back on the rails. Or where it is, for that matter. So there's, I could do the first 2 videos for derailment, but there will be a 3rd video. Once you get manual servicing, then you can fix these things on your own, and it's a bit cheaper. I do not have manual service yet with these, and I will not have manual service for at least this video. Hopefully we don't run right into the back of our train. Ominous lightning and thunder, right? No, I guess it's not because we haven't seen the marker for the Y. Beyond the Y here. Okay, there's our train. But it's still derailed. Okay. Okay, so what we have found out is that paying the copay does not put these trains back on the track. So that is our next step then. All right, so we'll start from the back. Does this train need to be rerailed? We do not want to clear, we want to rerail. All right, so that train is okay. How about this one? Aim at the vehicle you want to rerail. Okay. Is that one not rerailed, disrailed? Okay. This one is, though. So let's put this back on the track. And rerail cost is 0. All right, so we'll get it back on there. Let's get her hooked back up. Did you notice that? It wasn't long enough, but I just sort of dropped it and it made it long enough. I don't know how often that actually happens. Okay, so that's one. So we get our thing, pick it up, rerail. Let's put it back on. This track. Can we get it on this track? I don't want it on that track. We'll put it on that track. Okay, I have to put it here. All right, again, re-rail that car for $0. Okay, so we've done that. I don't think we're able to push this into place. No. All right, so the next thing, we have this train, this vehicle. For 0. All right, so we can re-rail that. Which is which? Which one did we climb out of? I think 15 was the one that we started with. Yeah. All right, so we want to re-rail this one. And that costs us nothing. Okay, so we got this one close. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect. Oh, we missed. No, those are definitely not long enough. All right, so we're going to start this one up because now we are at 100%, and we'll leave that one down, and we'll work with this one for just while we put the train back together here. So let's hop in, start her up. Traction motor. So we're going to push back here. Connected. That'll help us move easier. brakes should be on. Alright, so let's move this one back. Basically, we're going to rebuild our train. Looks like we run into this one. Need to connect to the other two, I should say. All right, so is that all the cars connected? Are these still connected? Air's on. All right. All right, so that's all the cars connected. Where are we in comparison to our other wrecked locomotive? All right, let's move this back. A lot for one locomotive. We are moving. Hope you're enjoying this. This is instructive for me as well, because I normally am beyond this point before I even get close to wrecking. So I don't get to see, you know, the game being nice. Alright, let's stop here. And for one last thing, let's put this locomotive, let's re-rail that. Get as close as we can. Confirm. Oops. I need to hit the one button and I keep hitting the escape. Alright, so this, let's bring it up forward a little bit. Oh, I see. We connected, but the brakes are still on. All the little things, right? Trying to do this at night too, or in the rain. I think it's at night though. Just make sure these are off. No wonder we were having trouble pushing that one with the brake on. Try it again. Get everything turned on, all the air together. brake off. Let's turn this one on. And we're just going to pull it through to City West and be done with it here. I want this to be the lead engine again. Together to help get us to where we need to go. And that's pretty much it. We had a derailment. Everybody saw it was a big mess. We followed the prompts, which basically said go back and find a career center and pay off the insurance copay. And it would fix everything. But when we came back to the scene of the wreck, we still needed to re-rail all of the cars and the engines. So you're still losing valuable time with your shipment. We still have it. Here's the order there. Here's the chart of fees. We said we're gonna go to City West with this load, and we have come through here, so I want to make sure I go to the right to City West, and then City West. Here, and I want to go right, and then I'll stop somewhere here. That's where we'll end the game for this particular one. But I just want to show that, once you get the train put back together, continue on your way. Interchange that will take you up to Sawmill. You go to the left, it'll take you to Sawmill. Going to the right will take you to City West. 90 kilometer an hour speed limit. That's actually 60 kilometers an hour. That'll take you up to coal power plant and machine factory. Okay. All right, so with the side is the good. Nope, the other side. So with the we'll try this again. So while you have the Rerail discount, all it's going to cost you is the $100 or the whatever your copay is, and that fixes your locomotives and your cargo. And then you have to go back and re-rail all the cars. But that doesn't cost you anything. All right, so that's prior to losing the derail discount. So basically, I think you can get the freight haul, dispatcher, and fragile. Fragile didn't say anything when I looked at the card about losing the Rerail discount. It was only when I hit long one or consolidated orders one that I saw the notification to lose the Rerail discount. And we can take a look at that real quick here. Oops. So yeah, let's look at the licenses just for one more time. So if we go to Fragile, okay, so Fragile doesn't say anything about losing the Rerail discount, but it does increase your copay. So it'll be $2,100 after you take Fragile. So you'd be on the hook for $2,100. Let's go to train length 1. Okay, see, removes Rerail discount. That would be one of the next ones to take in order. Same with Concurrent Orders 1. That removes the Rerail discount. Okay, let's see, what else would you take in the $10,000 range? I think those are the next ones to take. I don't think the SO60 cancel. Okay, so the trains don't take away the free rail discount. Different locomotives. Let's try the DH4. Nope. Okay. Multiple unit. Nope, that doesn't lose it either. Train length 2. Well, it doesn't, but you have to have train length 1 and the concurrent, so I don't need to look at those, because those have their own prerequisites that would require you to lose. I think even multiple unit has a prerequisite of long 1. Oh no, it has concurrent order 1. Yeah, okay, so that's, don't need to look at that. And DH4 has a prerequisite of long 2, so don't need to look at that. So, and I think museum has the manual service requirement on it, and that in itself has long 1 as a requirement. So I think, just looking at things, you could get up to fragile, add fragile to your licenses, but once you get train length 1 or concurrent orders 1, you remove the Rerail discount. And what we just saw was the bonus of the Rerail discount. And it might have been that everything we had to Rerail cost us nothing. So we'll find that out in a moment here. So let me... All right, so that was derailments with the Rerail discount. So we're going to exit the game. Back to main menu. We're going to exit without saving. And we're going to start her up again. But this time, when we start, we're going to get long 1. So here we are. We're still at the same. Let's... and we started. Okay, that wasn't what I wanted to do. All right, so we'll have to go back. Where are we? Okay, so we're not where we want to be. I think we're at City West, yeah. Okay, so let's go back, exit without saving. All right, sessions. We're here. Let's load. And we want to load... this one again. Load. Start. Okay, so that starts us back off where we were before we took the last load. Before we ran the last derailment. It's nice to be able to do this. In fact, that's another trick. If you derail, for the most part, folks, I'm going to tell you to just exit out of the game without saving and then pick it up at the last save where you're not actually on the road, you know, pulling a load, because sometimes you'll save back in and it will be bad. All right, so in this case, I think we can just, let's see. I think we can buy a license here. So this time we're going to buy train length 1. Fees not cleared. All right, fine. Fees. I'm gonna pay that. And we're going to buy the license train length 1 and get rid of and confirm, pay. All right, and it says removes Rerail discount. All right, so now our copay is $2,000 and we've got a time bonus deadline of minus 2% to the times that they give you. All right, no big deal. All right, so we have this that we're hooked up to. All right, we are not taking it to Harbor in Town because we're here to wreck it and see how that works. But we need to have an order in order for the career manager to work for us. So let's see what happens now. All right, so now we have our train without a Rerail discount. Just check our route. We're steel mill. We want to go to the right. We want to go to the left. And we want to go to the right. And we're going to derail somewhere in here. All right, so let's escape out of that. Start our locomotives up. brakes off. Crash another train. Crash the train again, I should say. Just a little extra push from the train in the back sometimes makes all the difference. We'll see what the game tells us this time when we have a derailment. So I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you learned a bit from the first derail and the process that we needed to go through to make that right. So now we're going to look at it from the standpoint of, all right, mid-game, before you get manual service and start to put together your personal locomotives. Just in case you have a derail then. And a little later on, when my games get to the point where those licenses are achieved or acquired, then I will do a third one and go over how that transpires. It should be about the same. It's just going to cost more. So we're just cruising along like normal. We're using the topography to help us out, help us get up to speed. The rear locomotive is just providing one notch of power. We're doing most of the control up front and the back off here. Flattens out on the bridge, but again, we want to derail where we derailed before. Try and keep everything the same. Apples to apples. Same cargo, same two locomotives. And I guess it doesn't matter what locomotives. Right now we're running DE2s, but this could be a DM3. This could be a DH4. It could be an SO60. It doesn't really matter. The process is the same. So here we are coming into the first switch, going down into farm. 51 kilometers an hour is plenty fast enough here to navigate these switches. We have one tick of power here. Two ticks in front and one tick in the back. Just to maintain speed. Once again, if you don't already know it, the loading tracks typically are empty unless you've left something on a loading track behind when you've been working in industry. Those are usually empty. So when you're transiting industries, keep that in mind. All right, so we're coming out of farm. It's a quick hop over to oil Oil well central. I have my Valentine's Day graphic up. It's now February. All right, oil well central. And make a quick right. Go down the loading track. Now, in oil well central, it does have a straight through track that's not that goes through this yard that's not marked, which should be empty. Unlike like Food Factory, where the central track in the C yard is often not empty. D yard at Goods Factory is also similar. That it's not a marked track, so it should be empty. All right, so we're coming out of Oil Well Central. Have a nice fast level run to the first Y. So we'll pick up some power. Some power with the second locomotive. Get up to a nice cruising speed that you might find yourself at. Normally, if you click it all the way back and then click it one forward, you won't overheat. That's the trick. If you put it on full throttle, you're going to overheat. All right, so the trackage is at 60 kilometers an hour. We can back that off a little bit. So we are at 60 kilometers an hour. All right, we come up to the Y. We have a 60 mile an hour trackage at the Y. That's what the showing is. But now we look ahead and we're like, oh, it's 30 to the right and 40 to the left. Oh my gosh. I don't think we can slow down in time. Just so you know, the 30 is right at the end. And we do not want to. Let's see, hop off. Here we are. Yep, there we go. Hopping off and derail. Oh, nice and violent. Okay. You can hear him still banging up. Here we go. That must have hurt. Don't worry about damage. You're insured. Pay the small copay at the career manager later, and all damage fees will be cleared. Okay. Your first derailment. No worries. If you can't afford re-railing and finishing the job, consider discarding it to a trash bin so you can take another. All right, so that's pretty much like cheating. All right, so we've extricated ourselves, and our train is still sinking. This must be quicksand here, and that's where the DE4 is. So we have made a mess, ladies and gentlemen. A hot mess. I want to look at that. I want to look at... Stop it. I want to take a picture. All right. All right, so it again suggested that we see the career manager before we fix this stuff. And I'm wondering if we can go the other way with it and fix it without. All right, let's see here. All right, so this vehicle's good. You can look at the cargo, vehicle and cargo. These are good. So these two are good. I'm going to put the brakes on. Keep them from sliding down and getting further. All right, so this one's the first one that's derailed. Let's see what we can do here. All right, clear, work train, Rerail. It wants to Rerail back there, huh? Oh, that's ugly. Ooh, allowed us to the Rerail in the back. That's interesting. Let's try that. Oh, okay. So to Rerail this one, it's going to cost us $5,000. All right. So let's try something different. All right. So last time we took a ride to the nearest city and got ourselves and paid the fees on this. So let's see what happens if we do the same thing. So we're going to request a work train. We want it to go the other way. And all right, so let's request a work train. It didn't like it on the confirm. Okay, so let's go to City West and see what happens if we follow the same procedures. Oops. If I want to go the other way. Here we go. So I hit the Alt key so that I have my mouse free to do other things if I need to, change a switch. Looking at this, it looks like I might have been closer to go to City West. Thanks again for stopping by, checking out the video. If you like what you see, if it's helpful, please consider subscribing. Also, hitting that like button helps. Trying to grow my... I'm going to go to the right. Trying to grow my channel here. So every little bit helps. Also, I appreciate likes and comments. If you want to comment, I love comments. Comments are a lot of fun to respond to. Nice to interact with the community in that way. So don't be afraid if you've got something you'd like to share. Stop it. What am I doing? Just pop it in. There we go. Sometimes these hand cars are a real pain because you're not sure which way they're going to go. And we're straight through. Stay on this track. It's going to take us off to the left. We want to stop. and then head over to the office, the rail office here. All right, so, we have had a problem. Fees. All right, so here's the, let's take a look at it again. All right, so it'll cost us $33,000 this time. Well, we did $33,000 worth of damage to the vehicles and the cargo. So the flat car, we damaged 2 flat cars, or 3 flat cars this time. I think we did 4 last time. And we damaged 2 sets of steel bent plates. Not too bad. I guess we did better this time than we did the last time. Plus, we also damaged our locomotives heavily. So right now it says insurance only needs you to pay $2,000 to clear all the fees. All right. So last time it was only $100 because we had the the Rerail discount. So let's pay the fees. Confirm. We got to pay the $2K. Put the wallet in. And good. All right. So all of that is cleared and everything's paid. So let's go back to where did we put our hand car? Here. Let's go back to the crash and see what it's going to cost us to put everything back together. So we're following the same steps that we did with the first derail video. And now we're going to see what happens, what the costs are, if any, after we lose the discount. I love the thunder and the lightning. It's very, very fitting for this video, I guess. Sure, it may have been quicker. It would have been quicker to go to City West if I hadn't taken the wrong turn at Albuquerque there. This is the Y that'll take you up to Sawmill. And we had our derailment at the Y that'll take you up to Forest South. So be aware if you're taking the track from steel mill to City West or machine factory, that there's this 30-mile-an-hour curve here that's just waiting for you to not be paying attention. We should be coming up on our derailment soon here. it is there. There it is there. Alright, so it's gonna break. Now this switch here is creating a little bit of an issue for us. Trying to re-rail stuff. Alright, let's hop off there and clear that from the track. That costs us nothing. Alright, so let's start to re-rail this. Let's see what it costs. So we know the last two cars are good. So let's start with this one. Alright, and we want to re-rail it. Remove. I don't want to remove it. I don't want to remove it. I want to re-rail it. Oh, okay, we can put it here. Okay, so we want to put it here. Good. And it's going to cost us $2,684. So there's our difference in the derailment. Okay. Oof, that wasn't good. Now that one's going to cost us $5,000. All right, what do we need to do? Let's get one of these up here. All right, it's going to cost us $5,000 to re-rail our locomotive. Confirm? Yeah. All right, so what we're going to try and do is connect these and move them forward so that it costs us the least amount. And what happened there is our train was kind of hanging on this, and now everything's down here. So now everything's going to be more expensive. But I think our locomotive is fixed because we paid for that. Yes. All right, so let's take our time here. So as much as we'd like to get them all back in the order they were in, that may not happen. And that's okay, so long as you don't intend to shunt this back in place for the other jobs. I think we put both of these on. While we're here, let's get that one re-railed. That'll cost us $5,000. Alright. Oh, so close. So we're going to put the last two cars after the last cars in the train. So move them forward. And hope this works right. Even if we have to put them on this track to make it cheaper. In fact, we may do that. Let's move these past the switch. There's the switch right there. Past the switch. Just not quite. That's okay. Let's we can move it up a little bit. All right, so we want to rerail this one, and that one's going to cost us 5,000. Confirm. It is on the inside track. Go forward a little bit more. Hard to see out here. A flashlight is crazy important to have when you're doing this. Alright, we're going to move these up a little bit and rerail the last car. Now again, these aren't in order anymore. The way they are, the way they were when we took them out of steel mill, we're actually just putting them up here the best way we can. We're just trying to clear that piece of track again so we can rerail the next one. Which is, well, I'm too far. Alright, so see, like, I can't see what's going on anymore. It's that, but you can point down the hillside and find what you're looking for. Okay? Put it up here. In fact, we could probably, I don't think it's going to cost us any less. Will allow us to put it here. Okay. We can put it here. It's still going to cost a max of 5. Max of 5,000. Put it over here because the switch is already turned that way. All right. Rerail for 5,000. There we go. So that should be the last car. do have a flashlight, and here we go. Oh, I need to get this charged. But yeah, a lantern or a flashlight is invaluable in this case. All right, so we are good. Let me just, since I mentioned it. Where are the lanterns? Oh, I crashed. Where'd they go? Did I lose them? I lost them both. All right, so I don't even have the lanterns. Is the hook still up in here? The hooks are still screwed in. But I lost the lantern and the end of... cool. Yeah, I'll have to go back. Okay. All right, so there we go. We are all hooked up. So now we're going to scoot out of here, go to City West. Put our load here like we did with the last one. And then we'll call this video done. So yeah, we started the video off and we had a derailment, a train derailment with our two DE2s prior to losing the Rerail discount, and went through what it took to recover from that. Then we went back, restarted the game, and I picked up the Long 1 license, which as part of that means that you lose the Rerail discount. We took the same load, the same cars, and derailed at the same place just to see what the difference is. And the difference is that now your copay is higher, so you end up paying more in copay. And you need to pay to Rerail each locomotive or car. And in this case, I think with the exception of the car that was only partially off the track, everything else, 2 cars and 2 locomotives cost us $5,000 to derail them. So that's 24, it cost us about a little less, I think a little less than $30,000 all total to recover from this derailment, plus time, plus the time bonus for the job. If this was a job that was going in this direction, we just took a job. But so that's the difference. Paying for the derailment of the cars and locomotives at the derailment site. Again, when the locomotives or the cars are derailed, they'll have the brakes on. And dealing with trackage that's got a switch in it adds a little bit of complexity to the operation. Call it an operation. So this has been educational for myself as well. So I'm glad to have had the opportunity to run through this and see what it's all about. Because I've looked online at different videos, and while they are good, they're not. I wouldn't call them quite as comprehensive. Alright, so here we're coming into City West. I'm going to slow down here into the turn and call our video complete at this point. As soon as we stop. All right. The ride has come to a complete stop. The diamond. So there we go. Together we have conducted 2 derailments to see how the whole operation works. As I said, there is a third method, and that is utilizing the manual services license, which saves you money on the, but you have to then do it backwards. You have to re-rail everything, haul it to someplace where you can get to a manual service station and fix stuff. That's just for the locomotives though, I think. It doesn't work on the cars. The cars need to be done via the career manager. So we will check that out as I proceed through the game again and have that opportunity. But for right now, for those of you just starting out, this is a good primer for what happens before you lose, while you have the Rerail discount, and after you lose the Rerail discount. All right, well, I hope this has been helpful. Have a little stormy weather with our locomotives here at Derail Valley. And I'm going to sign off. It's been about 2 hours, actually an hour and a half, looks like, since we started. And this is a good place to stop. So thank you again. If you enjoyed what you saw here or found it helpful, please give it a like. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see other content like this. So I appreciate it. So this is Swift Fox signing off. Have a good evening. Be safe. Take care of yourselves.